and then we want to sort of deal with those nations we're at war with. Now, Austria, of course, is one of those nations. Can we deal with them at the moment? No. But we're hoping that Poland might be able to help us here and draw some of this sort of Austrian firepower away from our shores. Let's get our. We need to get our info. Many of the councils saying you need to focus on infrastructure. You need to focus on your economy. That is primary here. Primary is the primary thing we need to do here is a focus on infrastructure and our economy. I agree with you wholeheartedly, my friends. It really is absolutely essential that we do that. It's a shipyard. Ideally, we should really bring this and make this a trade port. As many of you say, Alexandria was actually one of the largest trade ports in the world. We'll destroy this here. We'll make it into a port. Oh, France, I think that. They're reinforcing the front lines here. They are definitely going to move against us. I can absolutely guarantee it. They land more forces against the Poles. They're moving. Look at that. Those fiends. We've lost Transylvania. Just what we didn't need. We're going to suffer. What? Oh, that's really going to be a brutal fight, my friends. But that's a fight we'll take for next episode, I think, my friends. Greetings and welcome to episode 9 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Ottoman Empire campaign. And this, my friends, how we left it last time, where because of a fault of my own, my friends, my mistake, entirely my mistake, I hold my hands up, entirely my mistake, we moved out of Transylvania thinking that the Austrians might move into sort of Serbia and Belgrade. And in fact what they did, they sort of drew us out of Transylvania. We moved this force, as you can see here, this army down to try and sort of compensate in case they did move into the sort of Yugoslavia, the Balkans in great force. We thought we might have to cut them off here using this army, maybe hit them in the flank if they were to come through sort of straight south, straight down into Serbia and Belgrade. But what they did, they actually drew us out from Transylvania, then they moved the forces back away from the border, and then allowed this army, as you can see here, then to move around to take Transylvania. So in fact, the mistake was mine entirely. That tactical strategic mistake was mine. And now we find ourselves having to fight our way back into Transylvania because of that mistake. But we shall not yield, my friends. We are not going to give up this territory, this region at all. It is vital. It gives us access to not only the sort of the Carpathian Mountains, as it were, but it also gives us direct access to Sweden, who are sitting off to our sort of eastern flank here with Russia, not too far away either. And there's a great morass here of fighting going on between Prussia, between Poland, between Austria, between Sweden, between Russia. We've got a huge amount to do, but the first thing we must do is bring about the sort of reclaiming of Transylvania back into Ottoman fold here. It really is important that we get this back. not only that, but also to straighten our lines. Our lines at the moment are sort of really curved in a sort of a beveled shape. It doesn't give us that strategic and tactical sort of availability, as it were, to be able to move from sort of east to west. But Transylvania will give us that ability. Now, as you can see here, although we are sort of outnumbered with cavalry, these armies have taken a beating here. These regiments aren't at full strength. They do have full strength line infantry here, and also garrison guards here. But they're Swiss Grenadiers, they're Pandors, this line infantry, for example, even their cavalry, apart bar one 6th regiment here is at full strength. But we do have, which is the Ottomans' absolute forte, and that, my friend, is artillery. Look at this. We've got 5 pieces of artillery at our disposal here. The firepower is in our favour. We intend to use that. We've also got here Riskers of Souls, these berserkers, these madmen, as it were. And my word, they can tip the balance of a fight in your favour quite agreeably. We've also got a lot of Israelis. We do have our own Delhi horsemen here. We've also got Mob, Azars, and also the Bashir Bazooks, who are absolutely fantastic in sort of melee combat. But it's drawing the enemy onto our lines is going to be crucial here. It really is. So, as you can see, we've got ourselves set up here. We are going to be up against some very elite armies here, some regiments indeed, and a lot of cavalry. But if we can hold it, we've even got Lancers, Uhlans, which are absolute brutes in the sort of charge. We have to be ready to meet that charge there. They've got one regiment of 12-pounders here, but still we do outgun them in terms of our sort of fire support. But without further ado, my friend, let us begin not the defence even. We begin the assault upon Transylvania again. We shall bring it back into the Ottoman fold, and then we're going to reinforce this army, because there are other Austrian armies sort of further north waiting to move in to reinforce Transylvania. So it's absolutely vital here that we take Transylvania back and then bring those sort of reserve armies in. We're going to have to really start putting a lot more resources, military resources, into the front lines here. Oh, good grief, this is a wonderful sight, sir. Now, actually this, oh my god, the topography of this is quite extraordinary. I mean, look at this, sort of this massive hillock here that's absolutely just dominant here in the background. It gives you no room for manoeuvre whatsoever, so we know that this area here is completely out of bounds here to us. We're not going to be able to set up our army properly here. It's going to actually cause us more problems. But look at this village here is going to actually prove vital. Because up on the hill there, as you can just see in the distance here, my friends, that's Transylvania. That is Transylvania. That's what I mean. Transylvania is sat high up on the hills there, right in the sort of Carpathian mountains. And this village is sort of that outer region of Transylvania. But look at this. If we were to sit on this flank here, this right-hand flank, and sort of stretch it, we've even got here these sort of, the trees here might actually do us well here. Could we put berserkers in these trees? But berserkers are going to be needed, possibly. Maybe here might be a good idea for the berserkers. But this village here, is this sort of hamlet even, is going to put the advance from the Austrians, is going to break up their manoeuvre, their lines here. But also we must be careful we don't get full of the same traps. So we can actually use this. Actually, what we will do is we'll just sort of use this line here, right across here. We've got this small outcrop here of trees. We've also got some Delhi horsemen, which we will, let's put the Delhi horsemen into one position out of the way here for a moment. But the undulations here, look at the topography here. Look at what you've got to deal with here. The divots, the sort of mounds, the hills, the hillocks. I mean, look at this. All of it is so wonderfully set up for defence. It really is, because all of these will break up that sort of Austrian advance. Now, do we have here? We have the Bashir bazooks. Look at that. They are absolutely wonderful here. Where are the madmen? Where are the madmen? Show yourselves, sir. Show yourselves. Ho, 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 ho. I mean, look at that. And they are actually set perfectly here. We could actually hit the advance here of the Austrians. These men are brutes in melee combat. If we can get close up to those Austrians, we will do severe damage to them. And these Riskers of Souls here. These are some of our finest troops. armed only with a cutlass and great courage, but my word, they can do damage. Well, look at the artillery, sir. Oh my goodness me, it's enough to make you weep. And where are the organ guns? Where's the organ guns, sir? There they are. Look at that. Right, let's get things sorted out. No more admiring our troops. Let's get this sorted and set up ready for action. Now we do need a clear line of fire for our organ gun. So let's first of all set up our 18 pounders. And we've got a couple of 9 pounders in there, one 9 pounder in there. I think we'll use the trees here just as our sort of advantage point. Let's bring the organ gun in here. Does that give us enough? It does indeed. Let's limber. Put them into their own group. Actually, what we will do is just group these together. We'll use the organ guns separately here. Oh, look at this. The firepower we have here is quite exceptional. Now, they're going to give us trouble, that tree there. I hope not. I'll actually use the Bashi bazookas as well. We need to ambush the Austrians whilst they're on their way here. Yes, we're hidden here as well. We could do a lot of damage here. We need to stall and ambush them. Got our general here. Promotions are available here, my friends. If those of you who wish to be part of this, what a magnificent empire. Right, let's set ourselves up here. We've got Hussars as well. Well, I think we will actually set here in. Actually, we could set the Hussars here. Sorry about that, my friends. As you can see, look at the range these have as well. We'll actually set them on skirmish mode. So we're going to, again, they're going to a hit and run here. We could set these to guard, but there's no, we need these gentlemen as well to be absolutely on the ball here. If we can break that sort of centre of those Austrian forces, that would be a wonder. Right, let's set our, it's ready. We'll have the 10th Order in the vanguard here. Look at that. 14th Order. Okay, gentlemen. Look sharp, gentlemen. Look sharp. 11th Order on the left. Oof, this is going to break up our... And therein lays our problem. So that means we have to swing these two regiments out much further. So that we can actually fit the defence in here. We must be absolutely on the ball here. Perfect, absolutely perfect. We must protect this flank here as well. We'll use the 13th for that. Again, running them parallel to one each other. We've got the 9th Order here. We will have to hold some back in reserve. We'll put the 9th Order here back in reserve. Remember, all of this will open up, so actually what we will do is we'll put the 9th Order here, just here, so we can reinforce at will. We will be able to bring reinforcements in, which is excellent to see the compactness of this area here. We probably will put another regiment up here on the hills here. So for that end, we'll put the 8th Order, the 12th Order here as well. Again, I'm just going to run these gentlemen. Actually, we'll put them right in the centre here. We've got cavalry as well. We are going to have to use the really maximum effect here. We can't really run the cavalry on this flank because of the village, but on this flank we can use it to sort of manoeuvre around. There's a demarcation line right here, so we've actually got quite a large gap here to be able to manoeuvre around into. And so to that end, we'll actually set them up here. They can move around here. We just want them on melee mode here. We don't want any firing. Not yet. And we've got these gentlemen as well. Can we set these? We can't set them in the village here. That's just too much of an open area. I believe we're ready to hear, my friend. Let's begin. Let us begin. Are they going to come? Looks like they're going to come pretty heavy on this flank here. First thing we need to do is get ourselves up into these mountains here. And we'll set ourselves up. wonder. Oh, look at that. They're being absolutely peppered here, sir. Now, what about our organ guns? They've got... oh, that's it. Oh, well done, sir. So let's just keep hitting these here, shall we? Provincial cavalry on that flank there. We do have square. Just for the protection here, we'll just keep an eye on what's going on here. We'll just move the 8th Regiment, or the 12th, I beg your pardon. Now what have they got on the flank here? They got provisional cavalry, they got a lot of cavalry on this flank here. We'll just set these gentlemen up here to counter-attack into the flank. If they come centrally here, we're going to absolutely butcher them here. We have to hold our nerve here. Oh, that's an absolute joy to see, it really is. Come on, gentlemen. We'll leave them on fire at will. Come on, gentlemen. They are slacking here. Those organ guns come into play. My word, we shall have some fun, sir. At last! Oh, that's more like it, sir. That's more like it. That's a wonderful shot. My compliments to the chef, sir. Steady, lad. Steady now. Let's speed this up. We simply can't be waiting here, waiting for them to make their mind up. Let's speed this up. Oh, what a shot. What a shot. We have absolutely given them a heck of a pasting here. Excuse the noise in the background, my friends. Come on, lads, keep firing. I would have seen they wished to not carry out orders. Oh, that's an absolute joy to see. There's nothing else to say for that. Look at that. They're being cut to pieces here, and although we are taking some damage here from these gentlemen, for some reason they're simply not interested in having a fight here with us. Looks like we might have to, shall we say, speed them along. We shall use the Azars to do that. Let's move, gentlemen, let's move. Let's get ourselves in a position here. We need to trigger this battle. There's no point in just sitting here. Or we could sit here for an hour, but there's absolutely no point to that. That's not going to achieve anything at all. We need to pull them out here from their comfort zone. Got them nicely blending in here. Let's see how they respond to this. There it is, there it is. It's exactly what we wanted. Perfect. It's absolutely perfect. Unfortunately, we've got to sacrifice this unit to draw them out. Patience, gentlemen. Patience here. That's what it requires. Goodness me, this has been a joy to see. It really has. In fact, I think what we will do is we'll just move these gentlemen up to here. Put our Muslims here as well. I think we'll just put into this line here. We've got madmen in there, sir. Of course they're losing slightly. They're up against madmen. Oh, Swiss pikeman, do you know what you're up against, sir? Actually, let's get in there. Oh, they've broken. The Riskers of Souls are broken, but my goodness me, they've done some damage here. Those Riskers of Souls are an absolute joy to see. They're broken. They don't like it up them, they don't like it up them, sir. Hold, lads, hold. Get in there, lads, get in there. Will they come back? Who knows? We've got to hold them up here. We've got to simply hold this up here. This has been an absolute joy to see you. The courage here, sir, has been exceptional. Looks like they've gone the Riskers. Those Riskers of Souls have done an absolute wonder. What the? Hold the line, lads! Hold the line! Dang it, broken, you killers. Fired by rank here is absolute joy to see. That's because the Souls are back. Oh, we shall have some fun now, sir. And I shall show sheer firepower here of the Ottoman Empire. butcher's yard, sir. A butcher's yard. The riskers of souls, look at them, they're crazy, sir. Show us your garrison guards, I shall show you madmen. Get into those Swiss grenadiers, gentlemen. Look at these men, these are absolute insanity. Don't stand there idle, sir. What a battle this has been. Keep them tied down, lads. Oh my goodness, we took a real beating there. This flank, the whole flank is crumped, like. Fire! Oh my goodness me, they've got everything coming out here now at the moment. Excellent, excellent. Oh, what a shot. Lads, keep firing. Sending a general. Oh, what a shot, sir. That is an absolute destroyer. Get out, lads. Get out. Oh, it's destroyed the house. It's actually destroyed the house. It is actually destroyed. Oh my goodness me, it's destroyed the building. Oh, what a joy to see that is. What a joy to see. This artillery has been the absolute backbone here of this army. We've been absolutely blitzed here, but by my word. Let's really focus on these here. They've shattered. We've shown these Austrians we shall not be moved, sir. It's destroyed the building in one shot. We're the mercenaries, you took the money from the wrong master, sir. Give him a blast of that. Organ gun. In your own time, gentlemen, in your own time. Broken. Like a cur. Excuse any noise in the background there, my friends. You can probably guess who that might be there. Look at the death toll here. It has been absolutely brutal, sir. But we have managed to actually dispose of quite a powerful Austrian army here, but with heavy losses of our own. Goodness me. Fix bayonets. We want this general dead, sir. Fire, the full power of your fire. Ceasefire. What a fight that was. Heroic victory. Absolutely, sir. Wow. We've got 2,192 remaining. They've got 265. We've killed 2,104. What a fight that was. Statistics. Look at that. The Muslims did absolutely fantastic there. Israelis, any horsemen, phenomenal. Absolutely fantastic fight that was, my friends. Wow. Away with you, sir. We've got to reinforce that army as quickly as possible. It would appear the Dutch are under a great deal of pressure here. Spain on the move. Oh, you fiends. The council did also advise we get an alliance with Persia if possible. But look at that. There, they've hit the Swedish lines here, the British. Not good. That means that income there from our trade with Sweden is going to plummet. Poland. What can Poland do? Come on, Sweden, for goodness sake, sir, get your act together. Excuse my friends, whatever. Beverage of tea. Oh, well done, Spain. Well done, you, Spain. They really are the absolute policemen of the New World. They really do put themselves about there to keep the trade lines open. Mokhals, who are just about holding on there. And the council also pointed out that the Crimea Khanate have actually taken a region from the Russians, which is quite, or Mexico, which we do have trade with. Good to see these independent nations prospering. Pirates, who will probably hit, yes indeed, 6553, 5530 here. Oh. I mean, look at that. That is an absolute joy to see. We're going to send these gentlemen immediately through here. We do need to get these gentlemen up and running here. We need to reinforce this army as quickly as possible. First of all, we need to take... Demand surrender. Yes, well done, sir. Now, first thing we need to do is get this army... Oh, good grief, that's going to take a huge chunk of our money. And that as well. We're going to have to put these gentlemen up to Transylvania, because we've got a sizable force on its way. Oh, good grief. With highly experienced marines on the way as well. But I think this army here does need improving. And we can actually get... Oh, Haidut irregulars. And Bosnian Panduks. But I think we're going to get ourselves some Delhi horsemen for this army here. Transylvania has been captured. Wonderful. We do need to keep our trade coming in from these particular trade lines. And to that end, what we will do is we'll move just to here, outside Gibraltar. I'll keep that trade slowly coming in here. Excellent. The silver mines in Serbia are now on stream. A college now. We should be able to get... Yes, we can. Division of Labour. Absolutely fantastic. Going for field crop rotation. Socket bayonets. But we do treat... Now, the council did recommend we get an alliance with Persia, if possible. Oh, we can't. Because they're allies with Austria. I wonder if we can get an alliance with a peace with Austria even after that particularly brutal battle. Even if it's just briefly. Oh, 215. Spain is unfriendly. Poland. About Spain, I wonder if they'd be interested in... If we can sweeten the deal here. No, sir. Well, Poland will. Let's see if we can help them out here a little bit. Yes. More trade for us. Thank you very much, sir. It's a shame we can't get that there with Spain. That would be absolutely fantastic if we can get that with Spain, but maybe for throwing fire by rank as well. I'm not going to give you all that for 1,000. You must be mad, sir. Can we hold on to this before they reach us here? That's the key question. Will these reinforce? They should reinforce here. Look at that. 4 regiments of grenadiers. They absolutely obliterated this army. And thankfully Sweden is starting to build up here. Now, oh well, I'll be. Kazan has fallen. The council's eagle eyes were right. The Crimean Cardigans take Kazan. We can't get an alliance with Persia because of their alliance with Austria. One thing we're not going to do is kowtow to. I mean, that is a powerful force we have here. We do need a general in here, which we will put in, just in case the Persians do move against us here. But we are doing our best to upgrade what we can. Heraklion is bringing. We do need to get Patras, if possible. But we do have here now. We're trying to move up these gentlemen as well. We need to get into Istanbul, and from Istanbul we can move up to the front lines. We've pretty much dealt with this here. We do need to get a fort. The council did recommend we get a fort here in Transylvania, but we've got these forces moving in here with great speed. But I believe we can hold our own here against whatever they throw against us here. Especially this army in the fort here is more than ready to meet that threat. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. We've got 7503 coming in. Has trade been cut off? It has. So Sweden has been cut off, and the Mughal Empire has been cut off. How is the war going on here? Oh, they've got Katak here. There's only Bengal remaining. If they could just rid, I know they're allied to ourselves, but still, we need a dominant force here on the subcontinent. And also a recommendation to use Basra to put some sloop into the East Indies trade theatre as well, which we're absolutely going to do here. But let's end the turn here. Let's see what happens with Austria. We really are in a real battle to the death here with Austria. Britain, France, what will they do? Well. They're moving away. Well. Oh, look at that. Belgrade has fallen. Unbelievable. We're going to have to move again. Oh, unbelievable. These Austrians are going to be the absolute death knell of us here. We're going to have to deal with that Austrian force there as well, which means we're going to be stretched. But still, we must deal with what's coming in here. Come on now, Poland, do something, sir. Peace. Sir, we shall not give you Palestine for peace. We shall give you... No, and so be it. Yes, well done, Sweden. Well done, sir. Mexico, well done, Mexico. Look at that. British taking Iron 4. Look at that, we've lost Belgrade here now. Serbia, we're going to have to detach And they're quite clearly heading for Sarajevo here. We cannot take Belgrade just yet. This army's going to have to sort itself out. We're going to have to put another army together here, I'm afraid. We're going to put another army together here. We've got to deal with this. We've got to contain what is happening here. We've got to contain what's happening here with the Austrians. They've got now this sort of bulge in our lines here where we've sort of got this. We need to take Belgrade back. My word, this has been a brutal fight. Absolutely brutal. We're going to have to put an army together here from Istanbul to deal with this here. A really a fundamental. I know we've lost Serbia, so excellent. So let's just combine these here. Let's try and increase our. That's more like it. We shall have to. We've got to increase our income. We can't put that there in case they hit that. We've got the mine here, but again, we need to invest in our military here. And that is just the simple fact of it here. Now we've got Mamelukes here. Plenty of those. We get 2 of these gentlemen. And we're going to have to put some Janissaries in here as well. We have some musketeers. Actually, what we'll do is we'll use grenadiers. We've got to put another army together here to put a stop to this army moving in any further. And they've also got the silver mines here as well, which is an absolute menace. But we must reach where Westphalia have gone. We've just got to keep our nerve here. We have to hold our nerve. This army is quite clearly moving down to 4 here. If it does come for us, can we hold against such an elite force? I'll take some skirmishing tactics par excellence. We've got cavalry and we've got missile cavalry, which we can harass. But they've got the light cavalry here. I think we could probably overwhelm them eventually, but Austrians are really going to be a nuisance here now. They've destroyed this here, so that means we could actually move down with this army once it's replenished. Because Transylvania is going to be safe here for the moment, so meaning we could probably move down here and retake Belgrade. And then at the same time, behind that, reinforce here. We'll then have quashed and crushed most of the Austrian forces that are currently harassing us here. What about Prussia? They're at war. Oh, they're trade partners here. They're at war with Russia at least. They've taken Königsberg back here, the Poles, and they've still got Silesia. Wow, they've been hit pretty hard here. Hanover is really doing, and Russia is doing a pretty mean job here upon the, and Denmark has still got Norway here. So things are not going absolutely as they should be here, but still, thankfully the Russians are still being held back here by the Persians and indeed the Chechens here. I'd love to be able to pull these armies back out of from here, this frontier, but whilst they're allies of Austria, we cannot take that risk. Got 7295. How is the war going on here? Still nothing yet, but if they could just take Bengal here, it really would open up these trade routes and solidify this sort of flank they've got here, and they'd leave a couple of, a number of regions still under Mughal Empire control, but still, what we're getting from them is nothing at all, so we wouldn't be a loss. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Might be the last turn here. Let's end the turn here, let's see what happens. Actually, I wonder if we can sell any of our research. I wonder if we can send it to the Crimean Khanate. No, they don't want anything, quite clearly. Now, Britain is friendly to allies, though. And they have absolutely everything, of course. But United Provinces, they're hostile to us, but still, they don't have ring bayonet. Both 13 colonies. Can we help the 13 colonies out? Indeed we can. Nope. No sir, we are not going to give away our technology. We've got far bigger fish to fry here than just having to hang around and mess about with what you've got to offer us there, which is an absolute pittance. Let's end the turn, let's see what happens. Britain is quite clearly gearing up towards some kind of operation here. France is dealing with something there. Austria seems to be streaming these troops in. You come for us, sir, and you will regret it. Mark my words, we stand prepared to meet you, sir. Yes, they've given us a chance here. We can move against Serbia. We will move against Serbia with that army there in Transylvania. Prussia, moving in force. Looks like they want to try and take, quite clearly want to take Gdansk, Königsberg. Poland is still able to put together a sizable force. Russia. Oh, that's going to hurt our trade. But again, nothing we can do. These wars are not of our making, but they do affect us a great deal. Look at Hanover, that is a huge force moving into Sweden there. I'd be surprised if Sweden doesn't sort of unravel. The Bahamas are taking a beating. 4,000, look at, oh good grief, look at that, because of course Britain's been hit, Sweden's been hit, Mughal Empire's been hit. Now that's more like it. That we will take, sir. That's fine. Now we are looking at putting together a strong strike force. We can move down now to move against it's at full strength. Dare we make a statement here of intent? Dare we make a statement of intent here? Probably best if we actually put the money there into that mine that is far away enough from the front lines. We do have quite a few options here. But what? Royal Mameluke Guards? I think so, sir. We do need to get some ordnance factories up, but not in the Middle East here, more in the West. This is where our primary Now if we could invest in this here, that'll leave us 1,960. We do need to get ourselves oh my goodness me. The melee attack is brutal. We're going to get some Sekban Janissaries. Let's just do things bit by bit here. Weaver's Cottage, that's excellent to see. Our trade routes are bristling with trade here, but it's what these are going to do here. Are they going to combine into a force to try and move against us here? They're slowly draining their forces away here. That's a brutal force, my goodness me. Hungarian Grenadiers. That's because they were able to move troops from Munich and from Prague. Unfortunately, the Poles are struggling to contain things here. Britain is absolutely, well, going full on here. The Crimea were able to take Ukraine. What a boom that would be! But we've got to take this here, and we shall, my friends. I think this will be the last turn, and let's see what happens here. Let's see what Austria does here. Let's see if they. Oh, well done, Britain. Well done. Ooh, good grief. Ooh. Oh, oh. They got repelled from Warsaw. Britain got an absolute thrashing there, sir. Oh, look at that. They're heading for Transylvania now. Interesting. We haven't moved those two ships there. What an idiot I am. They're really trying to take Warsaw here, but the Warsaw garrison must be absolutely brutal in its defence there because they haven't taken any of it yet. Russia, you are not getting Palestine. Oh, well done. But they couldn't remove that British force. Quite clearly there's a British force in that port. Have they taken Calcutta? Quite clearly not. Quite clearly not. So they're going to be moving up here. Let's see where they're going. Yeah, looks like they're going to be pushing. We've got to move in. We've got to take this here.
Kuşatma başladı.
We could move in and take. But that's going to be guarded against with some very fine troops here indeed. We're going to have to reinforce this here. We've got good grief. Oh my goodness me. Trade has been absolutely just cut to ribbons here. Well, that's why I think that's all we can really do at the moment in terms of reinforcing these armies, because they're going to start costing us an absolute fortune here. this army's going to have to fend for itself here now. We simply cannot afford now. We have to move this. I think we'll move this army here when the time is right here to fend off, because that, I mean, that really is.
Hazırlanın. Marş.
This army alone is going to do a huge amount of damage. I think we'll start building up our bank here a little bit. I think we're just going to stop spending on our military, but whatever happens here now, we do have Transylvania. They're quite clearly moving down this way here, probably to strike against Bosnia. If we can get this army into place in time, we could actually do a lot of damage. We could actually push back against them here and start to roll Austria up here, especially if we retake Belgrade here in Serbia. Now that we've got it under siege, this army won't stand much longer. They've got the mortars, but we could obliterate this army, bring this army up to full strength, move this army up to here. We'll have a coherent front line then. We'll be able to send this army back up this way if necessary, and this army can then take the slack here of Belgrade and defend against these armies moving down here. We might even be able to catch our breath enough to destroy these armies, then move against Austria, take the offensive against them. What a episode this has been. What a fight this has been, my friends. It really has been an absolute wonder. What do we get trade here with? So it's oh yes, oh my goodness me, that is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now we've opened up with Spain. That is a joy to see, because they've got quite a big empire. They've even got Portugal here, so that's going to bring in a nice amount there of money for us. Thank you very much, sir. That's going to allow us to keep our military and our upgrades coming in here to our economy. But my word, this has been a brutal fight. We've taken Transylvania back. We've now got to take Belgrade back. But what it's allowed us to do is to be able to sort of, behind this fighting in the front lines here, upgrade our resources, but at the same time bring a very powerful army into existence here. It'll also be complemented by 3 more grenadiers. So that'll bring us up to here. We'll have space for another 3 regiments, but I think unless we complete this force now, what does it really need? It's got guns, we've got cavalry here. Melee is probably going to be ideal for us. I think we'll get another. Let's get some more cavalry. That's what we're going to do. We're going to put a very powerful force together behind the defence we've done here. We've mounted up almost like a flexible defence, as it were, where we've had to manoeuvre and move our forces around the front line here. We're not going to give in. We will not give in to the Austrians at all. And also Vilnius has been retaken by the Russians here against Britain. So that really has put Britain's hopes here against them gone here. They've obviously landed an army here as well. Indeed they have. Sweden didn't have much chance against that, but unfortunately Malmo's been hit. If Poland is able to reassert its strength here and take Gdansk, it might be able to help against Austria. If it's still fighting Austria, indeed it is. But if we can just hold again on the west here, we might be able to roll up the Austrians eventually, especially with this army coming into the field. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. It's been an eventful episode, to say the least. We've still got a huge amount to do here. The sort of the central focus of all of our sort of machinations, as it were, is here. This whole sort of central frontier in the Balkans, in Hungary, in Vienna, and we really need to sort of deal with this army, bring this army up here to deal with these incoming sort of smaller strike forces. And if we can deal with these, we might even be able to roll up against Austria here, hold them here with this army here in Cluj, and hold them here, and if they move out of Zagreb, we will pounce, take Zagreb, and then sort of swing and close the door on them here, move into trying again and take Vienna. If we take Vienna, if we take Hungary, it'll effectively seal off this front here. We can then sort of, behind it, we can start to revamp and improve our economy, our infrastructure, because we really do that. We haven't even got cobbled roads here. because all of our focus is on putting our military into place, and that's how bad things have been here. It really has. We've got cobble roads here. We need to get cobble roads in Bulgaria, which we don't have. How's our research going here? Not too bad at all. It's almost coming to conclusion, most of this here. Coke blast furnaces will allow us to get iron forge, iron master's forge. We do now have the ability to get division of labour, utilitarianism as well. We need to get social contract as well. Got so much to do, but we're just absolutely caught in the middle of this sort of cyclone here of fighting against Austria. They've really have sucked out all of our sort of resources, both militarily and economically here, because we will not yield. If we were to give all of this up, we have fought for nothing. We'll just simply shrink back to being sort of in charge of Bulgaria here. We've already fought them once, we've pushed them back once, and now they're sort of trying to really impose their will upon us. We will not have it, sir. It might even give the Poles a time to actually get their act together and move against them as well. And maybe even Prussia. Not the trade partners with them. They're at war with Poland, so there's a real ding-dong battle going on there. But my friends, we're going to end this episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'd like to thank every single one of you for your wonderful advice, my friends. It really has. If you haven't seen your advice enacted upon this in this episode, please do not worry, my friends. It's because we've been focused on some of these battles and trying to move things into position to sort of defend. You will definitely see your sort of advice really coming into its own once things have settled down here. Once we've taken this fight here, once we've moved against and sort of regained what was ours, you will see that coming into its own then, and then from there we can then use your advice, both economically and for infrastructure and sort of diplomatically as well. Will all come into view. I promise you that, my friends. But as always, please keep your comments coming down below, my friends. They've been absolutely wonderful. They really, really have been a joy to read. And without your comments, without your helps, proposals and plans, strategies, we would not be where we are now. Believe me, my friends, we would not. So I'd like to thank all of you once again for the brilliant response to all my campaigns. It's been absolutely fantastic. But whatever you do, my friends, please be safe and have a great time. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.